Jenny and I are up at 5 a.m. this morning to check out something that hasn't happened since Andrew Jackson was president. I read that online. It is a super blue blood moon. Yeah. So there's a supermoon, which means the moon is the closest to the Earth during its orbit. It's a blue moon, which is the second new moon in a month, and a complete lunar eclipse. So the moon is supposed to be big and blood red.
Bright red, yeah. This has been really cool. I mean, I wish that the solar eclipse we had seen lasted this long. We've been out here an hour now. This is just so cool, and we still have at least a half an hour left of the lunar eclipse, and it's setting on the horizon, so it's going to get even bigger.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, we only got 2 minutes, well, not even 2 minutes of total solar eclipse, but we get like a full hour of total lunar eclipse. Yeah. And while it's not as incredible as the solar eclipse was, it's still really cool. The moon is this beautiful copper red color, more of a deep orange.
Yeah.
But it's really cool. I've never seen this before.
No, me either.
And yeah, this full-time RVing made this possible because we would be back in Fort Wayne right now, and not only would it be daytime, but they're not in the path of totality anyway.
Yeah.
So we wouldn't have been able to see this if we weren't full-timing here in Quartzsite, Arizona. So
and full timing has really made it so that we can do this, and that's really cool to us because within our first year on the road, we got to see a total solar eclipse and now a lunar eclipse too. I mean, this is just so cool.
Yeah, we've never seen either of those before, and full timing has made it so when cool stuff like that is happening, we're just like, all right, pack up, let's go do this thing.
Luckily, we were already here, so we didn't have to pack up and drive here or anything. So.
Yeah, but it's really cool. Yeah. That was totally worth getting up at 5 a.m. to see that.
Definitely.
Everyone's all loaded up in the truck, the RV's all loaded up, and we're leaving Quartzsite now. It was kind of interesting coming to the snowbird capital of the world, and it was completely packed in this BLM spot, in this BLM site while we were here, and we've only been here for 6 days, and everyone has just broken out. Yeah. There's a lot less people here now.
Yeah, I bet even some of the RV parks actually have spots open now.
Yeah, but we're on our way to Joshua Tree National Park now to begin our steady climb north. As the weather starts to warm up, we're just kind of move with the frost line. Yep. Even though it's the end of January, so we can't go that far north.
No, not yet.
Yeah, we're gonna see if the BLM land just south of Joshua Tree is worth staying in. Hopefully it's fairly scenic, but if it's kind of meh, then there's a good chance that we're gonna actually go into Joshua Tree and see if there are some sites available. Mm-hmm. I'm just hoping that everyone that left Quartzsite didn't go to Joshua Tree.
We'll see how it is. Even if we end up staying inside Joshua Tree, it'll be about $15 a night, maybe $20 depending on what campsite we pick. But the chances are we're probably going to stay on BLM land anyway.
And if you're wondering about this big gash on my head right here, I bashed it on a cabinet door while I was kneeling down, and I stood up, hit it right on it, basically gave myself a concussion, almost bled out.
No.
It could have been bad. That's one of the hazards of RVing. You gotta watch out.
Kind of the hazard of anybody that ever opens a cabinet. Probably should watch out.
Yeah, you open a cabinet and you forget it's open, and well, it was really early. I can't be expected to remember that I opened cabinet doors, and I mean, it was way too early. It was all in a daze. I blame Jenny. She wasn't watching out for me. All right, let's get out of here. So this month marks our 6 months on the road. Closer to 7 months actually, but we're going with 6 because that's an even number. Half a year, sounds better. Anyway, we have finally been on the road enough to kind of get a feel for whether or not this lifestyle is for us. Like if we've made the right decision by selling our house, selling everything, quitting our jobs, buying an RV, and hitting the road full time.
Lots of crazy stuff.
Yeah. the reason we hit the road full time in the first place was because Jenny and I just weren't really happy with the typical 8 to 5, normal suburban lifestyle. We always wanted to travel, but we kind of felt trapped sitting in our tiny cubicles for the majority of the day and the majority of our lives. And we'd only get a couple hours a day together, and it just didn't feel like enough. 'Cause we're best friends and we love spending time together, and we really just want to be together.
Yeah.
So being away from each other for the majority of every day, except for the weekends, just didn't, it just didn't feel right for us.
Yeah.
So we just felt kind of trapped, and we had to break free.
Yeah.
And I came home to Jenny one day after work with this idea, and I sent it to her just kind of as a feeler, because I didn't really know how I felt about it at first. And as soon as the words left my mouth, she was like, yes, we're doing that. We got to do that. What can we do to make that happen as soon as possible? And I was blown away. And, after that, the rest is history, I guess. Here we are.
Yeah. From the time you brought the idea to me to the time we hit the road, I think was about 9 months. And they could not go by fast enough.
Yeah, that was a slow 9 months.
There are a lot of good things that go along with full-time RVing, and there are some bad things too. I think the best part, for us at least, with full-time RVing is just the freedom that it's given us. We have the freedom to go really wherever we want, whenever we want to. We can go see whatever national park or monument that we want to, whenever we want to. And it's liberating. It's really, really awesome to just have the amazing experiences that we've had already. And you could even say that our fate is truly unbound.
Where'd you come up with that?
I don't know.
Yeah, we just feel like the future is wide open for us now. We don't have the same. We don't wake up and our day is already set up for us, or our week is set, or our month. And, you wake up, go to work, do that, come home, cook dinner, go to sleep, wake up, wash, rinse, repeat. Our future is now wide open. We feel it's, we can go anywhere, do anything, and it's really exciting. Now, we'd be lying if we said that full timing is all, rainbows and unicorns, because it's not. It's got its downsides as well. And for us, probably the worst thing about it is the uncertainty. There is uncertainty with basically every aspect of full timing. For instance, right now, we're on our way to Joshua Tree National Park, and we plan on staying in BLM land outside of it. And we have no idea what it looks like. We don't know what the sites are like, if there are sites open, which I'm sure there are because it's pretty big. But, we just don't know what it's like there. It could be awful. And if it is, we're going to head into Joshua Tree and hopefully get a spot. But that's another thing. We don't know if all the sites in Joshua Tree are taken or not. So we're just kind of driving, and we'll find out when we get there. And we don't know where we're gonna get water most of the time. We don't know what the area is like we're going to, what the stores are, where the stores are in the area, what they're like, what they have to offer. And even the weather is uncertain, and we depend very heavily on the weather because we live on solar. So if it's really cloudy, then we don't have electricity. But if it's sunny, everything's good. But there's always that coin flip. And that's definitely probably the worst thing. It keeps things interesting, let me tell you.
It does, yeah.
And I mean, at any time, the RV could break down. We've already experienced a failed fridge, which is a big deal. We need our food.
And that was out for a good 2 weeks.
Yeah, and our tongue jack failed once in the middle of the national forest,
where we had no signal.
Yep, couldn't even call anyone. So, I mean, anything could happen at any time, and you just don't know. So, that in our opinion is the worst part about full timing.
So, you know, there are goods and bads with full-time RVing.
Some perfect sights right down there.
I'm way zoomed in.
Weirdo?
Yeah.
Some perfect sights down there. So let's pull her in and find us a spot.
All right.
We made it to Joshua Tree, well, actually BLM land just outside of Joshua Tree, and it turns out it's great.
Yeah.
So we parked here and found a site. Most of them were actually taken. It's pretty busy here.
Yeah.
But we were able to find a site that is sort of level, that we were able to get level on. And you know, we actually had to drive around quite a bit to find a spot. Yeah. And that's kind of that uncertainty we were talking about. You know, when we first got here, we're driving around and we're like, man, are we even going to be able to find a spot on the BLM land outside of Joshua Tree? Yeah. But we were finally able to, and we got set up just fine. On the way here, though, we experienced something that we thought would be easy full timing, but is actually pretty hard.
Yeah.
And we've learned that in the first 6 months of being on the road, and that is finding water, especially out here in the West. It's actually kind of difficult. Yeah. And we were calling places, trying to find somewhere that we could fill our fresh tank and our drinking water, and it wasn't until we were 5 miles from Joshua Tree, we just kind of got lucky. We stopped at a Chevron just to get some oil for the truck, and they had water, and it was just dumb luck that we found it. So we filled up our tanks, and we filled up our reserve tanks, and yeah, we're good to go now.
And it's only 5 miles away instead of
20
miles away
to the nearest town.
Yeah, Indio.
Yep.
Even though there are things we thought would be easy but are hard, there are also things, one thing in particular, that we thought would be hard but is actually really easy, and that's having electricity. Mm-hmm. Because we knew we were going to stay out on BLM land, boondocking all the time, but we did honestly think that we'd have to conserve more than we do. Yeah. And the only thing that we can't do on our solar that we wish we could do more of is run our refrigerator. We
didn't think that we would have the abundance of electricity that we do. We thought we'd have to conserve a lot more. But the stuff we use every day, we can use it basically constantly.
Yeah.
Can't run the fridge all the time on AC, but that's okay. But now that we're finally at Joshua Tree, we're going to head on into the visitor center. It's just 5 miles away from our BLM site, and we're going to basically check it out and see if we can get some pamphlets, some information on the hikes, bike trails, etc., all that cool stuff. Yep. And yeah, but we gotta hurry up because it's 4 and they close at 5.
Yep.
Go!
So the visitor center is closed.
Apparently they close at 4, so no dice.
Their online hours are different, so.
But, what'd you get?
Nice big pamphlet.
Yeah.
Full of stuff.
Well, that's what we were after anyway, because we don't know anything. We don't know what's going on here, but now we do.
Yep.
Back to the RV.
Yep.
It's only 5 miles away.
Yeah, and we can get drinking water here. Who knew?
Oh yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
So is full-time RVing worth it? For us, absolutely. And this is exactly why. This is what we dreamed of, was finding a free BLM site like this that is beautiful and right outside of a national park. Perfect. We're 5 miles from Joshua Tree. We're gonna have some great adventures in there. This is exactly why we did it. This was our dream, and we jumped into it head first, not really knowing what the outcome would be, and we were scared, to be honest, but we did it, and after 6 months now of living it, we don't regret it at all. And we hope that our story will inspire you to chase your dream, whatever it is, full-time RVing or otherwise. If it's starting a business, starting a family, taking a big vacation, whatever it is, make a plan, take action, chase your dream. You won't regret it. We don't. We're gonna stay here on this BLM site for about a week, and then after that, probably move into Joshua Tree and actually stay inside of the national park because we've never stayed in a national park before and we kind of want to see what it's like.
We're really excited for the adventures we're gonna have in there too. If you like this video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up.
And if you want more videos from us, go ahead and subscribe. And if you want more details on what we did today, go ahead and check out the link to the blog post in the description below. Catch you guys later.
Bye.